It's Groundhog Day, Monday, February 2nd, and if you are watching what's happening and you still don't believe that the moon illuminates so much every single time it is full, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe this is not the broadcast for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Graciela Moore. I am an ICF certified personal coach, and I wrote Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2026 Manifestation Agenda/Journal. And here we are very focused in the astrology, where the moon is every day of the week, how it affects us emotionally, and especially how to really harvest all of this mumbo jumbo that I like to bring up into the energy that keeps us going. I know that sounds very wishy washy, but Mercury has a lot going on this week as it stands in Aquarius and squares Uranus, who's going direct in Taurus as of tomorrow. Headlines, gossip, news or not, famous, infamous, all of the above. It's a brand new month, so let's take a look at the special dates that I have highlighted on the agenda. We have the full moon in Leo that happened yesterday. We're going to talk about it, as well as the Imbolc Sabbath. If you are into any of the pagan traditions, Imbolc is the fire celebration of spring. It celebrates Saint Bridget. She wasn't always a saint, she was made a saint later on. We're not going to talk about that. But Imbolc is essentially, we're right in the middle of winter. Spring is coming. The hope of those daffodils growing through the snow is very real. There's also more nature that grows through the snow, and it's just very empowering to see. I grew up in Puerto Rico where there is no snow, so I do appreciate the seasons and everything that comes as the days go by. One thing that I noticed yesterday is that sunset happened at 5:44 p.m., which is the latest that it's been happening, I think, since the equinox. So spring is coming, hope abounds. On the 17th, right on Chinese New Year, which we're also going to talk about in due time because it is the year of the horse starting, and I feel like that fire energy of the horse running and rushing through the fields is already kind of rippling throughout, but we're still going to wait until February 17th to talk about it. But with the new moon happening on the 17th, we also have a solar eclipse. So, as of today, we're already starting eclipse season. There's a lot of energy that is going to be kind of building up, and come the 17th, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not predicting things, but when there's a build up and a crescendo, what happens? Usually something big. I hope not. I hope it's just something simple that we can all kind of make sense of or click and then have a different life after having that kind of moment, right? I hope it's not just something massive, but there's a lot riding on this month, so get ready. As the weeks go by, we're going to talk about the astrology this week. Uranus going direct in the sign of Taurus is the most important thing because it's going to impact everything that's happening in Aquarius in a square, which is, think about it. It is not a lot of place to move. It is extremely rigid. Don't be a square, right? Be fair. And so this week, I do anticipate a lot of drama. Hopefully not. Focus on your communication. Focus on standing on your truth if you know where that is, if you know where you stand, so that when those conversations come about, you know what to bring up, how to stand on your ground, and how to defend yourself if you have to. Please stay safe. Now, if you're still feeling like it's not the time to start something, to rebrand, to launch something new, we are still in the middle of winter. Look outside. It is still covered in like 4 inches of snow. So we are still very much focused on resting and recharging. Spring and Aries season is still not happening. The sun is still going to move to Pisces on the 20th, and it still has its transit through Pisces before we really see that spring and Aries season, more of the energetic of starting something new. But as always, we do want to focus on the calendar year that we are following. So, my intention for this month is to do less of a few things that I want to bring up with you. Because I feel like, in the spirit of go, 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 fire, horse year, Aries is coming, Neptune in Aries, go, 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 Martian energy, resistance, anger, and a lot of energy towards more, then doing less, slowing down, and really centering can be a way of going against, because everything else around us might be telling us to do this or do that, check the box or follow the list before you get to the resting point, or you're not done until the clock strikes this, etc. But if you're feeling like slowing down and doing less of a few things, then I feel like we might be doing it right. You tell me how that resonates for you. But I started the year with very conscious effort of doing less scrolling. Now, because of the news, there hasn't been a lot of less scrolling as I would like. But I have already gone through a period in my life where I quit coffee. I quit coffee for 6 years. Part of the reason why I did that was because it was giving me heartburn and I just wasn't enjoying it much. If every time I'm going to have a cup of coffee, in Puerto Rico, we have the coffee, el cafecito de las tres. In Puerto Rico, we like to have that cup of coffee at 3 p.m. for that lull in the afternoon. And I want to participate. I love my coffee. Jaucono, Bustelo, bring it on. But one of the reasons why I cut coffee years ago was because of heartburn. The snow and all the seasons happened. This island girl went back to coffee. And so I've been drinking coffee. That's just not it. That's not the energy for me. Lorelai Gilmore can have that number one coffee fan award. I don't need to be that person, right? I don't want to be proud about drinking so much coffee all the time or running on coffee or being so productive because coffee, coffee, coffee. So, my intention this month is to drink less coffee. I was drinking up to 5 cups of coffee before. I'm already down to two, sometimes three if I feel very tired at 1 p.m. Maybe the goal before the end of the month is to drink 2 cups of coffee. I feel like that seems realistic to me, but that's the idea. Baby steps. It doesn't have to be something huge. Now, to support this intention, I will embody the following. Now, in the previous editions of the book, the second manifestation for each month used to be focused on how am I going to feel after I reach this goal. That's very coaching oriented. We want to always have a goal to look to and a reward if that's something that you're into. Once I accomplish this one thing that I may not want to do, but I have to do because I am an adult, right? How am I going to feel? I want to be able to settle on that feeling now so that I can start manifesting the feeling of accomplishment. It starts from the very beginning. But in this year's book, I decided to bring it to the body because what I noticed in the astrology of this year is that there is a lot that is going to be disruptive to the nervous system. Just talking about the astrology and how Mars may be involved, Uranus and innovation but disruption may be involved. Mercury going retrograde is always very disruptive, not just to technology, but communication and travel. And so, looking at this year, I went back to every month and I decided to bring it back to the body. My intention is to drink less coffee. And so, to support this intention, I will embody sovereignty. I want to remember and to remind myself that I want to guide my day to day. I don't want my physiological needs to drive where I go in life. I don't want what my body is asking for to be what gets in the way of my creativity. And so, drinking coffee is not just giving me heartburn, it's giving me jitters. It's keeping me up at night, which we've already discussed. Insomnia, it's just not it for me. I want to be able to rest because I have very loud and intense days at home with homeschooling and other things. And so, sovereignty. I own this choice. I own this decision. I own this body. This body is my temple. And so I want less caffeine in it. What am I going to do to get there? I'm drinking a lot more warm water, a lot more mud water. Check the link in the description if you want to get more information about it. I will be posting more about mud water throughout the year. I'm going to embody confidence because I want to stand my ground on my decision when I am still making 5 cups of coffee for me and my husband. Even though there's coffee left in the pot, I want to confidently and sovereignly stand my ground and say, I'm drinking hot water instead of more coffee. And you get the gist. I see alignment. I know that things in my life are aligned when I feel at peace, when I am happy, when I am calm in my body. How do you know that things are aligning well for you? Let me know in the comments. And every single month in the agenda, we have a special quote. This year, I decided that all 12 quotes of the book are written by women. And considering that February started with a full moon in Leo, I went ahead and used my embodiment of confidence and sovereignty and quoted myself on this agenda. There's just a lot that has been said and written. So, my quote for this month is trust in your unique journey. Hone the wisdom that is highlighted along the way. Embrace your magic. And a little housekeeping, if you are a Patreon subscriber, pay $5 a month to receive the following. You should have received in your email a PDF with the February Wellness Guide. It includes the sun sign horoscopes, but also the lunar wellness plan, where you can see your natal moon and what's coming up for you this month in the emotional side of things. So take a look at that. The reason why I bring this up is because the one thing that I want to make sure to do this week is to create that audio meditation that goes with the month of February for my subscribers. So if you would like to receive that audio file on your inbox, produced by moi, music by Brain FM, audio meditation where I am narrating and guiding you through breath work. We used to do this live every Monday. Now it's only for subscribers. So if you want to listen to the meditation and get in with the vibe of the whole month and a meditation to breathe and get into that zone, then subscribe. The link in the description, and it will be in your inbox by the end of the week. What I want to create, along with finishing that meditation and send it, is more content about this journey of quitting caffeine. Because let me tell you, I'm about to be 41. I don't know how old you are, but the insomnia that comes with being my age and being a woman is just very real. So, aside from the symptoms I listed before, once I reached that point in my life where no matter what I do, I'm still like awake at night, I realized that something's got to give. I have to do something. What can I do? And sometimes when we get stuck on the what can I do, we don't really think of the other side of the coin, which is what can I undo? What could I not do? Or what can I do less of? And so this is where the journey began of quitting coffee. Now, I'm not just going to quit cold turkey because I do love the taste of it and I love mixing it with cinnamon and vanilla. But if my body is communicating with me about how uncomfortable it is about this whole caffeine, then what can I do about it? That's the thing. And so I'm grateful for all of the things that I have at my disposal to work on that journey and to progress. And by progressing, I mean doing less of that. So that's what I have going on this week for myself. What do you have going on for yourself? This waning gibbous in Leo is going to start the process of letting go of a certain thing, letting go of certain ideologies. What came up for you this weekend with the full moon? Because waning is about cleansing. As the moon is waning, meaning gaining in darkness and starting its journey down to the new moon, think of that swipe. That's where a lot of what came up when the full moon was illuminated is going to be brought into perspective. Well, where is it going? Is it going to be disposed of? Is it going to be shelved again? Is it going to be transmuted, transformed? Is it going to be given? Are you receiving, etc.? And so the week is the process of releasing. So we do it little by little. And so the affirmation for the week is, as the moon begins to wane, I release the need for applause and keep the warmth of purpose. What I've created now feeds the flame within, steady, sacred, and self sustained. And the waning in Leo leading up to the moon in Virgo, I feel like is very supportive of that Mercury square Uranus happening tomorrow, which might be disruptive to communication technology, delays in traffic, delays in thoughts, etc. By tomorrow night, by Tuesday at 10:20 for me, find your local time on astroseek.com. Find out what the astrology for your local spot is for you. You see, because the sun is in Aquarius, along with a bunch of other planets like Venus, Mercury, and Mars, there is an emphasis on what can I do for the collective. Aquarius is opposite Leo. So, whatever came up that is about you, there is an emphasis on how can I translate that for the collective. And tomorrow, as Mercury squares Uranus in Taurus, as it's going direct, and it's going to be there, I think, until 2018, there is going to be an emphasis on the disruption of communication. And when you cannot trust any source, when you cannot trust the people around you, when you cannot trust people in power, you have to really decide for yourself, what is it that you hold on for? What is it that you stand for? What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want to create, etc., etc., so that then you can hold on to what you trust. And so here's another example of why I love to focus on the moon is that sometimes when the rest of the astrology seems a bit messy, extremely disruptive to the nervous system and to the systems in general, I like to hold on the fact that the moon going from Leo to Virgo should allow us to be able to organize a little bit our thoughts, our actions, dot our I's, and really focus on what is it that really plays a part on the plan, whatever it is that you're working on. Then by Thursday, the moon moves into Libra. And I hope that the moon in Libra will be supportive of Venus squaring Uranus by Sunday, because Venus rules Libra. It also rules Taurus, where Uranus is going to be for a while. So I think Venus stands a little bit more power than Uranus in this equation. So I'm hoping that if we can really focus on our values and decide, what is it that I am putting values on? What is it that holds worth in my periphery? What am I giving importance to? What am I giving my energy to? Who am I giving my energy to? Once we decide all those things, hopefully with this moon in Libra, Thursday, Friday, and then, Friday the moon moves into Scorpio, so a lot of darkness might be stirred up. But then Venus squaring Uranus on Sunday with the moon in Scorpio, I'm hoping is not as disruptive. If we can really decide what is it that we want the rest of our lives to look like, what is it that we want? What is it that we want to stand for? What do you want to manifest? What exactly is it that you want? Is it peace? Is it utter happiness? You let me know in the comments. There's going to be a lot stirred up this week. So, here are three things that I'm doing this week to stay regulated. Number one, I'm drinking less caffeine, more warm water, more mud water. Find more information about it in the link in the description. And I am also listening to Brain FM, so don't forget music for your brain to focus on what you want to really focus on. Don't focus so much on the scrolling, focus on the plan. What is it that you're working towards? We got this. I love you, and I will see you next week.